Hi, my name's Heidi and I work for an environmental charity called PECT. We've been working with Talking Together Cambridgeshire for the last 3 years, delivering World Together and World Literacy sessions, getting people outdoors and enjoying the time together, whilst at the same time learning new vocabulary and conversation skills. We're so excited to be working with Talking Together Cambridgeshire on their Festival of Stories this year. So what we've decided to do is create some story cubes so that you can create your own story adventures as part of the celebrations and events that are happening. We've also created a very special Festivals of Story cube so that you can relate back to the trails and the exciting adventures that you've had during your time. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to make your story cube and how to use them to create your own adventures. Shall we get started? Okay, so we're going to need a few things to make our story cubes. We're going to need the story cube that you've downloaded from the website and printed off. You can either print this off on standard paper, card, or you can laminate it before you turn it into a cube. So it's entirely up to you. Depending on what you use, depends on how long it's going to last. So you need your cube. You're going to need a pair of scissors, a ruler or something to be able to create nice sharp creases, and some sellotape to stick it together. So let's just move those out the way first. So the first thing we're going to need to do is cut our story cube out. So I've printed this out onto normal paper and then I've laminated it to give it some structure. You can print it off onto card, that will also give it some structure, or if you're going to print it off onto normal paper, then that's absolutely fine as well. And then you can cover it in the end in your sellotape and that will help keep it fresher for longer. So we just need to cut out the whole of your cube. So I'm going to do all the flat sides first, as you can see. That way then I can start to get rid of some of all this excess paper and it makes it easier to cut out the little flaps, which are going to help stick it together and keep it in its cube shape. Don't be too precise on the flaps because you're not going to see those. So that's absolutely fine. And we've made the lines nice and thick, so it doesn't matter whether you cut it on the inside of the line, the outside of the line, or in the middle. So you're still going to get a nice story cube at the end of it. So these story cubes have all been designed with the illustrations used for your story trails as part of the Festival of Stories. So if you haven't seen or get involved in one of those yet, have a go. And they're all from a book that's been illustrated by Ellie Sandall, so you can have a look for that as well. And then also on the website there are lots of other generic story cubes with lots of other things that you might see when you're out and about, or you might take out on a day trip, or places you might want to go. So it's worth having a look at those as well, because you can combine them all together and use them for different things. And in a minute, once we've made our story cube, we're going to have a look at how we can do that. So we're just going to finish off cutting this one out. So you can see I'm just using the edge of the lines to cut, but I'm not worried too much if I go on the inside. There we go. Cut this edge off here. Okie doke. So once you've cut out all of the bits of white paper that we don't need around your story cube, then we can get ready to assemble it. So you're going to need your ruler for the next bit, or something like a card, so that we can create nice sharp creases. Okie doke. So there we go. Let's move all this away. Okay. So this is our story cube. We're going to turn it over the opposite way, and what we're going to do is we're going to work our way down the middle and then in on the sides. So we're going to just fold it on itself like that, and you can see there that that crease is not holding itself. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm just going to press it over the top, and then that's going to help it stay in place. Obviously, if you're not using thick card and you're using paper, then that fold will be a lot easier to do. It just depends on what your material is. So you're just going to work your way down, and you can see that I'm using the lines to do my folds, and it should fold quite nicely along those. So now I've got those bits, I'm just going to do the sides. Okay. Okay. And the last one, there. Okay. So we've done all of the flat edges of our cube. So if I turn it around the other way, we can start to see that shape take place. And then what we've got is we've got these little flaps here. These are going to help keep its structure and keep its cube shape when we piece it together. So again, we need to do exactly the same as what we've just done. We just need to fold those into the middle. So always make sure that the bit with all the lovely pretty designs and colourful pictures on are flat on the table, and that you're folding into the plain white space on the inside. I would hate for you to have a blank story cube and not be able to see all those great pictures to help you. So we're going to finish those off. Okay, and the last one. There we go. Okay, so now we're ready to start sticking it together, which is where we're going to need our sellotape. So let's move those out of the way. So the best way to do that is to take the long part of your cube and roll it round to the other side so that you have just your two straight square flaps at the side to stick down. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the edge without the crease flap that's going to go on the inside, and we're going to put a length of sellotape over the top. So we've got a bit that's sticking out of the top there. When we fold it over, we're going to put that bit on the inside, that flap that we've cut out, and then if we just hold it there, we can just wrap this around over the top, and that's just going to secure it in place like that. Then we can turn it over, and then we're going to do exactly the same again. So we're going to pull a piece of tape off, we're going to put it on that flat edge, and then we can use that to pull that side over the top and stick it to the side. And then again, one last time on that top one there. So again, a bit of tape and stick it over. Now this is where you can use your sellotape if you're using normal paper that isn't too thick to coat the outsides. So you can see here I've got some gaps where I've only taped one side. So what you might do is get a longer piece of tape, put it over the top, and then bring it down the sides just to stick that together and help keep its structure. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. So let's do that. And there we go. There we've got a story cube. Now it's a little bit like a dice, but instead of numbers, we're going to have a picture from scenes of the book and things that you would recognise from your trails. And over here, I've got some other story cubes. So these are the mini ones that you'll be able to find on the website as well, and you can download and print those off. I think there's about 10 different ones for you to choose from. You might decide to use all of them, or you might just want to select a few to start with. So the way that our story cubes work is we take our cubes and we roll them, and then it gives us lots of different things to work with. So we've got an aeroplane on this one, we've got a ladybird on this one, we've got the sun, we've got a farm, we've got a park, we've got two of those, and then we've also got our very special Festival of Stories one. And this is Little Bunny Loves to Sing a Song. So now all we've got to do is use all of these as inspiration to create our very own story. So let's have a go, shall we? This little bunny loves to sing a song. She loves to sing songs so much that she decided she was going to go high in the sky in an aeroplane far, far away. When the aeroplane landed, it landed in a park. Little Bunny decided to go and explore in the bright sunshine. She came across a lovely red-looking insect. "Hello, red-looking insect. What's your name?" "My name is Lily Ladybird, and I'm a ladybird. I like the bright sunshine and crawling around in all the flowers and the grass." "That sounds like lots of fun," said Little Bunny. "I like to sing. Do you like to sing, Lily Ladybird?" "Oh, yes, I like to sing too. And I know someone else who likes to sing as well." "Can you guess who else might like to sing?" You've got it. All of Ladybird's friends who live on the farm like to sing. Little Bunny thought that was brilliant and decided that she was going to go off to the farm to see all the animals there to create her very own singing choir. There you go. So we've created our very own story using these cubes. And every time you roll them, you'll get a different combination and different things to be able to tell in your story. The other cubes that you've got in the collection are all sorts of things you might take out and about with you. We've got animals you might see on outdoor adventures. We've got things to do with birds. We've got things to do with trees. We have also got things you might see on a walk. And then lastly, we've got all about ponds. So things that grow or live in ponds. So you can print all of these off and add them to these and create wonderful stories. You might even decide that you're going to print one off and use the back and create your very own story cubes with your own items that you want to put on. So have lots and lots of fun, tell lots of stories, and I hope you've enjoyed your time at Festival of Stories.